From center to the circle, and so back from circle to the center, water moves in the round chalice, even as the blow impels it, inwardly, or from without. Such was the image glanked into my mind, as the great spirit of Aquinum ceased, and Beatrice after him her words resumed alternate, need there is, though yet he tells it to you not in words, nor e'en in thought, that he should fathom to its depth another mystery. Tell him, if the light, wherewith your substance blooms, shall stay with you eternally, as now, and, if it doth, how, when ye shall regain your visible forms, the sight may without harm endure the change, that also tell. As those, who in a ring tread the light measure, in their fitful mirth raise loud the voice, and spring with gladder bound, thus, at the hearing of that pious suit, the saintly circles in their tourneying and wandrouse note attested new delight. Whoso laments, that we must doff this garb of frail mortality, thenceforth to live immortally above, he hath not seen the sweet refreshing of that heaven-ly shower. Him, who lives ever, and forever reigns in mystic union of the three in one, unbounded, bounding all, each spirit thrice sang, with such melody, as but to hear for highest merit were an ample meed. And from the lesser orb the goodliest light, with gentle voice and mild, such as perhaps the angels once to Mary, thus replied, long as the joy of paradise shall last, our love shall shine around that raiment, bright, as fervent, as in vision blessed, and that as far in blessedness exceeding, as it hath grave beyond its virtue great. Our shape, regarmented with glorious weeds of saintly flesh, must, being thus entire, show yet more gracious. Therefore shall increase, whatever of light, gratuitous, imparts the supreme good, light, ministering aid, the better disclose his glory, whence the vision needs increasing, much increase the fervor, which it kindles, and that too the ray, that comes from it. But as the greed which gives out flame, yet at its whiteness shines more lively than that, and so preserves its proper semblance, thus this circling sphere of splendor, shall to view less radiant seem, than shall our fleshly robe, which yonder earth now covers. Nor will such excess of light o'erpower us, in corporeal organs made firm, and susceptible of all delight. So ready and so cordial an amen, followed from either choir, as plainly spoke desire of their dead bodies, yet perchance not for themselves, but for their kindred dear, mothers and sires, and those whom best they loved, ere they were made imperishable flame. And lo! Forthwith there rose up round about a lustre over that already there, of equal clearness, like the brightening up of the horizon. As at an evening hour of twilight, new appearances through heaven peer with faint glimmer, doubtfully descried, so their new substances, methought began to rise in view, and round the other twain enwheeling, sweep their ampler circuit wide. O gentle glitter of eternal beam! With what a such whiteness did it flow, o'erpowering vision in me! But so fair, so passing lovely, Beatrice showed, mind cannot follow it, nor words express her infinite sweetness. Thence mine eyes regained power to look up, and I beheld myself, soul with my lady, to more lofty bliss translated, for the star, with warmer smile empurpled, while denoted our ascent. With all the heart, and with that tongue which speaks the same in all, an holocaust I made to God, befitting the new grace vouchsafed. And from my bosom had not yet upsteamed the fuming of that incense, when I knew the rite accepted. With such mighty sheen and mantling crimson, in two listed rays the splendors shot before me, that I cried, God of Sabaoth! That does prank them thus. As leads the galaxy from pole to pole, distinguished into greater lights and less, its pathway, which the wisest fail to spell, so thickly studded, in the depth of Mars, those rays described the venerable sign, that quadrants in the round conjoining frame. Here memory mocks the toil of genius. Christ beamed on that cross, and pattern fails me now. But whoso takes his cross, and follows Christ will pardon me for that I leave untold, when in the fleckered dawning he shall spy the glitterance of Christ. From horn to horn, and tween the summit and the base did move lights, scintillating, as they met and passed. Thus oft are seen, with ever-changeful glance, straight or athwart, now rapid and now slow, the atomies of bodies, long or short, to move along the sunbeam, whose slant line checkers the shadow, interposed by art against the noontide heat. And as the chime of minstrel music, dulcimer, and help with many strings, a pleasant dining makes to him, who heareth not distinct the note, so from the lights, which there appeared to me, gathered along the cross a melody, that, indistinctly heard, with ravishment possessed me. Yet I marked it was a hymn of lofty praises, for there came to me arise and conquer, as to one who hears and comprehends not. Ni such ecstasy came, that never till that hour was thing that held me in so sweet imprisonment. Perhaps my saying over bold appears, accounting less the pleasure of those eyes, whereon to look fulfilleth all desire. But he, who is aware those living seals of every beauty work with quicker force, the higher they are risen, and that there I had not turned me to them, he may well excuse me that, whereof in my excuse I do accuse me, and may on my truth, that holy pleasure here not yet revealed, which grows in transport as we mount aloof.